Well, Ashley Chastain Woodard, first and foremost, congratulations on getting married in the off season. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing wonderful. It's been it's been a awesome last half year, 6 months, and then obviously getting married in November. It's been amazing. So yeah, the whole name change. People have been like, "What name are you going by now?" So that's been an adjustment, like getting back into the swing of things for sure. But I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Absolutely. It is great to see you. I know I had to I guess I think it updated my like when you and I were texting the other day, it suggested the update and I was like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right." I'm glad now that that's what like you can update birthdays, you can update names, you can do all the things so you remember everything about everybody. Thankfully for
Yeah.
these little devices we keep in our pocket. Um You'll meet with me with more media tomorrow, but and a lot of those folks are my friends, so I apologize to all those losers. I got you first, and we're excited to have you on. And I know you're excited for year one, and I know we got to get you out of here in about 20 minutes or so. Um, but so being in year one at South Carolina in the most difficult league in the country, and we'll get more into that here in just a little bit. Goals change as the year goes along generally, right? But what are the initial goals for you as you start the season?
Well, I think the original goal when we took over the team, was just to be able to instill some belief in the players that, we have everything we need here to be a championship program. And I think that's the mission we've been on through the fall. And as we've kicked off preseason here, I think that starting to see that some from them, just their confidence rising, their belief rising, just what they think we can do together. We have everything that we need internally to have a really great season. And, I think that, we have a heavy focus on just the conference play. Every game of our really long season, as you know, is extremely important when it comes down to decisions that are made at the end of the season and regionals and hosting and championships and all those things. But I think overall, just elevating the program within the SEC is a massive focus for us, and just being more competitive in the league and just instilling that belief in the program. So that's been a huge focus of ours, and we start 2 weeks from today. Actually, I don't even really know what day it is, because we're in the preseason grind of like kind of Groundhog Day every day, full practices, all those things. But I did realize it's Thursday and we are 2 weeks away. So
Yep, you are.
really excited for that.
Thursday, February the 6th, the Gamecock Invitational. Yep. You've got Virginia up first in the over at the ballpark there in Columbia. Real quick here too, they don't have to wait that long if they don't want to. Fans, they actually can come see you on Saturday. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Yeah. We have a season opening celebration dinner on Saturday evening. Doors open at 5, and it's kind of a social hour from 5 to 6. Miss Cocky Boutique will be there. Cocky himself will be there. We've got autograph signings for the team and just photo opportunities and kind of a social mingle. And then dinner's at 6, and we have a whole program scheduled starting at 6:30. We'll be over by 8 o'clock. And, you'll hear from members of the team. You'll hear from me, just hear about the season, preview the season, and just really celebrate the team. I'm so proud of the work that they've been doing, and, just want, the fans and the families to be able to interact with them here as a celebration of getting kicked off into our long season through the spring. So that's this Saturday at 6. There's still tickets available. You can get those online. We also launched our Diamond Club in December. So if you become a Diamond Club member, at a certain level, you get free tickets for Saturday, or you get discounted tickets for Saturday to be any sort of member. So really excited about that. It's a wonderful opportunity for our program and our fans to directly support us and be very involved in the program. So we've had wonderful support just in the past 30 days in that campaign, and really looking forward just to the excitement of the Diamond Club as we move forward.
Yeah, that Diamond Club. I want to tell everybody, if you go to Gamecocks online and go to the softball page, you've got memberships from just $150 up to $3,000. But for instance, if you chip in $350, which is you'd be a double diamond member, that gives you 2 VIP cards, and that provides entrance to every game.
Yes.
General admin, which is awesome. $150 gives you admission to every game, 1 VIP card, but $350 for 2 of you to go to every game this season or have access to every game. You can give them away or whatever you want to do. That's a steal, to be honest. Hell, the $1,000 is a steal because you get 4 of them. You take your family to every ball game if you want to go support South Carolina softball. And so Gamecocks Online has all of that stuff. It is a great program. I'm so glad you launched it, and I'm so glad that it's going well. And they'll get to watch a new team. What's the process been like putting this team together? Because you come in, you have to evaluate what you've got. You're recruiting the high school ranks, then you're recruiting the transfer portal. What has that process been like?
It's been high speed, high volume is kind of how I've described it. Jody Davidson leads our recruiting efforts, but everyone on staff has, input and involvement in recruiting. And it's been a lot. We've gone coast to coast for the past 6 months and, are always building the future. So we're always building the incoming freshmen and just who we really foresee helping us take the program to the next phase, next step in the future. And then, getting to know who's coming into the program next fall, who we signed in November, and just evaluating those families and those players. And we signed 4 kids in November, the November period of signing. And, just transparently looking forward, I mean, we're going to have a lot of transfers on the team this upcoming summer. So that's been a heavy focus of ours, is just preparing ourselves for that, because the transfer window doesn't open until June. But just anticipation that we're going to be really active in the transfer portal, just bringing in players with experience from other places that are looking for a new experience and a new home here at Carolina, and really players that we think can really take us to the next level. Will be a huge focus of ours. So I think there'll be a lot of new faces in the program over the next few years, and just transparency. The roster is going to get bigger. But personally, I have appreciated and really enjoyed this team and everyone that's on this team, because, the players that were here, they could have chosen to leave, they chose to stay. And, just the commitment to the school and the program means a lot to me, especially as an alumni. And then just the excitement of bringing in all of the players that we brought in through the summer, and then integrating our true freshmen that were, coming into campus last August. So it's been great just kind of meshing everyone together and creating the cohesion and the chemistry needed to be really successful. So I love this team, and I'm really excited to see them compete here in 2 weeks. It'll be nice to not inter-squad or scrimmage each other for once.
That stuff gets old in a hurry, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. So speaking of the players, tell us about your players. We'll start with a position you know quite well as a former pitcher yourself. So let's start with the staff. Tell us about those ladies.
Yeah, we've got 5 arms, and they've all made tremendous gains and growth over the last semester. So, we're just in the middle of ramping them up. We went into a winter phase where they trained a lot on their own through December. We had a couple that went into Chicago and trained at a facility called OGX with their people in the winter, who we partner with pitching wise. They do a lot of our pitching development and consultation. So they worked really hard. And right now, ramping them up for the start of season is kind of the mode that we're in, but really excited about all 5 of them. From a ball flight standpoint, they've all got different stuff. So, some throw down, some throw up, some sweep away. We've got a lot of off speed to choose from on staff. And I think if you follow us all season, my anticipation is that we're going to really staff a lot of games. We'll have a lot of openers, a lot of bridges, a lot of closers, really play to the matchup of our opponents. So I think that we will spread innings out. I think, you'll come to the ballpark and, maybe not be able to anticipate who's going to be opening or bridging the game to our closer, whatever the situation is, because it is very much a staff effort. So that's kind of our anticipation with the staff going into season. And I think that way, if you spread the innings out, especially early on, you save who emerges to be your ace in year 1 and year 2, you save a lot of their innings for later in the year. They stay healthy longer, they're fresher longer into the year, which is really important because we do play a lot of games. So, we want them to to be feeling really good in April and May, at the back end of conference play. So, but yeah, really excited about all of them. A lot of experience on the mound, a lot of success, even other places in the circle for us. So they've kind of thrived as a position group. The 5 of them are really tight knit. They support each other really well, and they've all gotten a lot better since August.
So, which is interesting because, sometimes for those that are maybe fringe or casual softball fans, they'll turn on a game to watch, Oklahoma or whoever's on TV, and they'll see the same arm out there over and over. And you're like, do they use anybody else? That's not what it sounds like here. I mean, you've got 5 that you're going to go with, but this is very much maybe even a little bit on the baseball side of things. Like we're going to kind of piece some things together and figure out the best roles. And then at the end of the year, hopefully we'll be humming and go with it.
Yeah. I think the staff mentality, the matchup mentality is pretty progressive in our game, but I do think that there are a lot of really successful programs that are moving into that space. We just have more information than we've ever had from a data collection standpoint, from an opponent standpoint, and also from like health and wellness of pitching underhanded. We have more information now than we've ever had. So,
yep.
The days where you see the same person throwing, 300, 350 innings on the year, I think our game is evolving out of that space because I think the game is so good now that you need multiple people for matchup scenarios. So I would say we're pretty progressive, in that thought process. And that's where we like to be. So yeah, definitely going to take the staff mentality, especially to start the year, because softball, we do the preseason tournaments where we bring in multiple opponents and we play 4, 5, 6 games in the matter of 3-4 days. So it's a lot of volume. It's too much volume for 1 or 2 arms early in the year.
Yep. Y'all have got 3 straight tournaments to open the season for those that this is pretty, it happens every year. Carolina always has a bunch of tournaments to get going. All right. So who's going to help them? If you want to, how about this? We'll start in the outfield and then you can work your way in from there. Educate the audience on who will be playing and what the lineup, what type of a lineup is this offensively? What is the identity of this team?
Yeah, I think it's dynamic. I think there's some power, from Ari Rohde, who'll be our first baseman this year. We'll start there. She's emerged as our starter at first. Yeah, she was an All-American last year, played for me previously, and just has big time power at the plate. And that's really valuable when you have runners in scoring positions. With one opportunity, you can score multiple runs at any time. So, we're trying not to put the weight of our offense on her shoulders and really be well-versed and dynamic all the way through the order, which I think is real success over a course of an entire season. Like you need speed, you need action plays, you need people that can steal bags, you need just a lot of versatility through the order with some power sprinkled in. And so Rhodey's massive power for us. Brooke Blankenship is our shortstop. She's a senior. This is her last campaign, and she's had just a tremendous offseason, playing really well both sides of the ball. I think she could be someone that's on base a lot. She's a righty that hits to all fields, and she runs the base as well. She's just a really gritty player that I think will contribute a lot, and I think is playing the best that she's ever played in her career right now. So really excited about her and just the leadership and wisdom that she has brought to our team from her experiences. So she'll be someone that's, probably in front of Rhodey. We just got to put people around our power, to be able to protect them and, be able to put people on base for them. And we've got some speed. I mean, we've got some kids that I think you'll see maybe come into the lineup to pinch run for a starter, upgrade speed. And then in softball, it's a little bit different substitution rules than in baseball. So you have a free sub on all the starters. So if a starter comes out, you can re-enter them once. They're not automatically burned. So that just provides a lot of options for a defensive player, a defensive outfielder. Maybe it's a defensive decision in the middle of the game to upgrade an outfielder. And then when that spot comes back up in the order, you can decide what you're going to do with that spot. So it's a little different of a substitution feel, softball versus baseball, which we like. So really excited about Brooke Blankenship. Ella Chansey has evolved as our third baseman. She's got 3 wonderful years of experience at third. She's a veteran player. Quincy Lelio is our Oklahoma transfer. She's profiling right now to be our center fielder. We've kind of really put a lot of emphasis on her in center over the last specifically preseason weeks that we've been practicing. She could profile, I think we're thinking our leadoff hitter. Q is really versatile. She can slap, she can bunt, she can hit away. Like, she can just do a lot of things. And so having someone so diverse and dynamic in the leadoff, I think is just kind of a really good feel. It's a really good table setter. So really excited about her in center and as our potential leadoff. Carly Shelton. I have to talk about Carly Shelton. I'm going through the order in my head. Carly Shelton was a freshman last year, was kind of in and out of the lineup, didn't play a ton throughout the course of the entire season. She is so rock solid right now for us. She's playing really well. She's a lefty power hitter. She's really learned to hit the ball off fields. So, as a lefty power hitter, she can go backside. She can pull a ball with power. I mean, she's just really excelled and thrived under our offensive leadership with Katie Browder. So really excited about Carly Shelton, and she's a second baseman, and she'll play second base for us, and just kind of a field rat. She's the one that you show up to the yard and you always see on the field, working hard, doing something. So really excited about those guys. And, I think last player I'll mention is Lexi Winters. She's a Lexington hometown hero, always wanted to be a Gamecock, grew up a Gamecock, one of the best receiving catchers in the country, which is so invaluable to be able to really control the strike zone like she does. And she is, going to catch a lot for us, and just really excited about her behind the plate, and just the passion that she has to be a Gamecock and to be a part of our program is really special. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You love hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
So you've got, this is wild, right? This league. And now Oklahoma and Texas are here, and I don't know if I need to remind anybody about those two programs. Texas is the preseason #1 program in the country. Oklahoma is preseason #3. Oh, but wait, the Sooners have won 4 straight national championships in that stretch. This is bonkers. This is going to blow everybody's minds, because I doubt anybody has actually looked at this. I know you know it, but most people don't. In the stretch that Oklahoma's in right now, they are, in the last 4 years, they are 235-15. 235-15. And they've played in 7 of the last 8 national championships. They've won 6 of them overall. And then you've got all these great, LSU and Tennessee, you know them all, but maybe some people don't, Alabama, et cetera, et cetera. What do you draw from those programs? Do you draw anything from those programs that you can implement here at South Carolina that maybe starts getting you into that conversation with guys, with programs like that?
Yeah, Oklahoma is an absolute dynasty in our game right now, and just so much respect for Coach Gasso and her whole staff for what they've built and what they're doing. And now obviously coming into the SEC as an opponent, I just have a lot of respect for her and her staff. And, that stuff just doesn't happen. That is years and years and years of the right people, the right players, the right systems. And, I have to believe that it's very detail oriented. It's very process driven. It's high accountability. It's, excellence every day in everything that you do, which is, those are all concepts that we have instilled in our program since we walked through the door in the summer. So, it's like I said, they didn't become the program that they are overnight. That's years and years of investment from the right people. But it's a model, it's a model that has worked for them, and there's a lot that can be taken from it. But for us, like, details and discipline and accountability and, just wanting to be really great at everything you do every day is really important. And, I think that if I was to ask, a program like Oklahoma, I have to believe that those things are, really bled into their program every day. So those are the things we've been trying to do here. And I think, when you get an opportunity to compete against really high level competition, like a Texas, a Tennessee, and Oklahoma, and all of our SEC foes, which we love the competition so much. You have to see it as an opportunity to get better. If we want to be on the big stage in the biggest atmospheres of college softball, you don't get there without first playing those opponents and then giving yourself a chance to compete and win those games. If you're never in those opportunities, you're never going to get where you want to go. And so I think it's just a total perspective shift and a mindset that's where we want to be. We want to be in those moments, and you have to coach your players to be able to handle that pressure and take the right mindset into those opportunities. But it's an opportunity for us to grow our own program to be able to play such high level competition. And then one day become an opponent that people talk about, like Texas and like Oklahoma coming to the SEC. That's the ultimate goal, is that we become an opponent that people highly respect, and they're like, man, like, we're gonna have to play our best to beat South Carolina. And that's why we're here. That's what we do, and that drives us every day. So just in the middle of really implementing the process and the system with the right people and players to make that our reality here at South Carolina is I think where we're at.
Ashley, I hope you're still there in about 12 or 13 years. I can send my daughters to play for you, because that's who they need to play for. I know we've got to get you out of here. By the way, to Ashley's point, for anybody wondering, oh man, the SEC is so difficult. Gosh, Ashley said, it's not hard enough. Well, why don't we schedule Duke and Texas Tech as well? They're both in the top 10. But you mentioned it, challenge them, and they're going to get that challenge. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end it with this, because I know you got to go to the airport, but I laughed when I saw your face I didn't send you a message or anything. I told you from day one, I like to stay out of the way, but I laughed when I saw your face on the Jumbotron as you and Coach Maneri exited the Cockaboose to, I think it was the Missouri game, the football game this year. Y'all were the celebrity starters. And Coach Maneri, of course, had the mic first. And when he said, let's open up a can of whoop ass on these boys tonight, the look on your face, because I was laughing at Coach Maneri. I thought, I didn't see that coming. And then you were what did you think when he said that? Did that throw you off? Did it rattle you?
I have had the absolute privilege of doing many things with Coach Maneri since I've been here at Carolina, and since he got hired. We've done a lot of Gamecock Club events over the past 6 months. And let me just first say, he is just awesome, and he's just such a good guy. And I've so enjoyed getting to know him and having these opportunities to interact with him. And so when we found out that we were the celebrity starter and we were doing that together and coming out of the Cockaboose, we laughed so hard, and we were like waiting to get in the Cockaboose and go out on the field. And he mentioned to me, he was like, I think I'm going to say this, and I in my mind, I was like, go for it. It'll rally the crowd, it'll be awesome. And then when he actually said it, I just was like, wow, he actually really said that he's awesome, But yeah, he's just a great guy, and I'm so excited to support baseball this year and just see what they do. And obviously, he's got legendary coach, iconic baseball coach, will go down as one of the best in history of baseball, and just really excited to see him lead the program. And it's been a pleasure, just being around him at different things the last 6 months. But that was an opportunity, and just a memory that I'll probably never forget, is that I was on the field with him when Coach Maneri said what he said to the crowd.
Dude, that was so funny. Well, everything you just said, though, it's all back at you, because, we've spoken to Shane about your hiring and Coach Maneri, and, we've talked to Coach Tanner about this. You've got massive support across the University of South Carolina. I think that. But just coming from our end, these guys say the same thing to us behind closed doors that they do in front of a camera about how excited they are for you in this softball program. And we can't wait to watch you play. We'll get you back soon, and we'll maybe talk a little bit more once we see how it's playing out on the field and stuff like that. But I know you got to get to the airport. Thank you for your time, Ashley Woodard. Congratulations on getting married and all that stuff. And we can't wait to watch you play here in a couple of weeks.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate always coming on the show, and looking forward to it throughout the spring. And also looking forward to seeing everyone at Beckham Field here coming up soon.
Yep, and we'll continue to push this thing on Saturday as well. Reach out anytime you need something. We'll get it out there for you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashley. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
There you go, Ashley Chastain Woodard. Ashley Woodard. She married Robert Woodard, who pitched at the University of North Carolina. He's the head baseball coach up at Charlotte, and they're newly married and just running up and down I-77 to support one another. So congratulations to her, and can't wait to watch this softball team get out there on the field here in just a couple of weeks. We're 2 weeks from first pitch for the Gamecocks.